Hello and welcome to the second in a series of videos which TTG is proud to be running in conjunction with Travel Counsellors. I'm here in sunny Bolton at the Travel Counsellors headquarters to discuss the challenges that you, the agent, face in the ever-changing world of technology, but how you could be utilising this technology to boost your business. I'm joined by Kirsten Hughes, Commercial Director for Travel Counsellors, who's going to be discussing the changing trends in the marketplace, and Mike Bridges, a Travel Counsellor himself, who's going to be discussing how he's used technology to boost his business and he's reaping some serious rewards from it. There's no denying that being a travel agent isn't always an easy job, and as technology evolves, so too do the challenges that you face. So Kirsten, how have you seen the sector evolving in the last 10 years?
Well, I think it's a sector that's been evolving for much longer than that. I've been in travel 25 years and I remember back in the days I worked for a quite famous holiday shop at the time, and the customer would walk in and say, I want to book that holiday, and you went into view data when you booked that holiday. It was relatively straightforward back then. In the last 10 years, I think the biggest change has been technology, without doubt, and the internet for most agents, and it's allowed suppliers and operators to cut out the agent. And I think what's happened is the agents, and many agents are considered quite low in the food chain and not necessary, and I don't think enough value has been given to agents. So the change in technology has meant obviously everyone wants to get direct to the customer, and with the internet that's made it quite easy, and customers can now go and check holidays or do as much research as an agent would have done historically. But the investment with the big tour operators has been to really cut out the agent, even their own agents. And so it's quite difficult, I believe, definitely for the high street. But technology does bring advantages, serious advantages, and we've jumped onto the back of the advantages of technology rather than focus on the disadvantages of technology.
So this is the quote and book system, so tell us about that.
Yeah, I mean, at Travel Counsellors, we've always had a big focus on our own technology, and our job was to create opportunities for our agents. And we don't really like the word agents, you know. Travel counsellors are about service. It's not just about booking a holiday, it's about looking after the customer and the relationships that they create. Our job centrally in our head office was to create a tool that they didn't have to worry about the other stuff, and the other stuff being the internet, tour operators cutting commission. We had to create something that give our agents control of their business going forward. So we created Phoenix, has been our own in-house system. We've had that for 10 years. The last 2-3 years has been focused on creating, if you will, a tour operating tool that allowed TCs to book anything worldwide that they would need for their customers. And so last January we launched, which is our quote and book, which is our packaging system. And in the last 12 months, since last May, we've transacted about £35 million through that. In January this year, it's about £6.5 million. So what this has allowed our agents to do is access net product, wholesale product. Historically, they would have had to. I mean, dynamic packaging has been around a long time. It's a word that's bandied around an awful lot. Let's face it, most travel agents, good travel agents and independent agents have been dynamic packaging, tailor making, whatever you call it, for the last 25 years. They just did it a different way. They may go to a tour operator to dynamically package and build what they wanted. What this allowed us to do, we've been dynamically packaging within Phoenix for the last 10 years, and probably 40% of our business now is what we would call dynamically packaged, where we're going direct to our own product, where we've got wholesalers or destination management companies, our own airline contracts. The biggest change last year was introducing our own full atoll packages that the travel counsellors could create themselves, and we had to build a tool for that. The biggest challenge to agents at the moment is being at the receiving end of suppliers saying we're cutting commission out because we don't value what you bring. We believe our travel counsellors are the value in any relationship. So what we have done is create a tool that says, okay, we're in control and you're in control of your destiny. Here is access to net product. You build it yourself. So you're not reliant on suppliers cutting commission because you're creating your own destiny. So we've got significant margin increases. Travel counsellors are actually making what they're worth. And we've seen some big increases, but more importantly, from a time-saving perspective, it's saving them so much more time, and it looks a lot more professional. And time is money, and you know, our agents work hard enough as it is. You know, if we can make their life any easier, that's what we're here to do.
And Mike, you said that because of quote and book, you don't feel that technology kind of presents those challenges which other agents perhaps Phil, tell us about your personal experience with Quote and Book.
Well, Quote and Book, I mean, when I started 8 years ago as a TC, it was Phoenix, and I've always worked with Phoenix. I've always had, it's always been a fairly good percentage of my business, for hotels mainly and transfers. But then as Quote and Book, as it evolved and Quote and Book came to being, my business is just grown this year, this last 6 months. It's really gone up, and now I'm about 58%, 60% Quote and Book now. Brilliant. The other is took up from cruising, which is now just been put into Quote and Book. So I'm sure that'll diminish, and you know, the cruise, my Quote and Book will go up again. And it works on business house as well. It's not just leisure, you know, because I have some business houses.
Okay, so
and it does work with that.
Well,
oh yeah.
Our corporates can use, and they do use the technology as well. You know, we've got access to a lot of fares and a lot of accommodation. The great thing, some of the feedback we've had from the corporates is that our technology is also compatible with all mobile apps. So if you have an iPhone or a Technophone or an iPad, so you can be in the supermarket or at the gym or whatever, if a client rings you can actually just go online and book it on your iPhone. So that's made a significant difference as well. Obviously, you've got to have quite good eyesight, but if you've got my eyesight's got a little bit, but
keep your glasses with you all the time.
Yeah, with you know the advantage for us, and I guess where we differentiate ourselves is on service. So our travel counsellors are available generally 24/7. So it's important the technology is available with them and they're not chained to a desk all day. We encourage our travel counsellors to go out and network and bring in new business. So it's important that we give them the technology that can move with them. So yeah, that was quite. We got quite a few cheers when we launched that last year, but that works really well.
Especially with corporate clients, you know, time is even more of the essence in some ways. So to have that. That system's great.
Well, the system ties into, we have a CMS contact centre system as well that we've created, which ties in. So once our travel counsellors have loaded clients into that, or done an inquiry or made a booking for them, that client is then stored. So again, a repeat customer, you could pull the customer, drop that into your booking, into the inquiry. It's all, they don't actually physically have to load anything at all. So it's a pretty awesome system.
And I think Mike mentions the cruise is now incorporated into the system as well.
That's right. The only gap that we were missing was cruise, and as we know, cruise commissions have been cut over the years, and it's a great market, and there's some fantastic products out there, but a lot of travel counsellors were probably disincentivised to sell cruise when they cut commissions. So we do have a lot of travel counsellors who sell a lot of cruise, and we're quite a big cruise agent, but there was some that just weren't interested because the margins weren't worth it. So we've created a tool now that within Phoenix that we can bring in gross cruise packages, but we can also bring in net cruise only rates. So we would encourage our travel counsellors to repackage and make decent margin. And people, you know, for cruise, for travel agents who don't sell a lot of cruise, there's a lot of cruise systems out there. So you've got Cruise Match, now Expresso, you've got Polar, and it's a bit like ski, I think, where a lot of agents sort of shy away from the product because I don't know the system. So it was important we created a tool that looked and felt like our own technology. So we've used third-party technology behind the scenes, but it now looks and feels like Phoenix. So travel counsellors won't shy away from using it, and we hope to see a significant increase in cruise sales this year.
Totally. Have people said, you know, oh, I haven't really sold cruise before, but it's tempting me to, fab.
Yeah, absolutely. And the margins that we've made by doing that, and again, the time saving, because to go into the cruise systems is quite cumbersome. I mean, they're quite good, but it's quite cumbersome. This system allows our TCs to look at all the cruise. So if a customer doesn't know what cruise line they want to go on necessarily, but they've got restricted dates, this system will let you go in, check what cruise lines are available on what dates, and then drill it down that way. So they don't have to go into Cruise Match and Polar and the likes. They can actually go down and make suggestions from the system, and then it's just, again, they can hold it in the system and they can book it in the system.
How long does it hold in the system for?
The options can only be held like they would be held direct with the cruise line, but the quote is held. So if you've quoted today and the customer comes back next week, the option may not still be held, but what it will do is go back and recheck exactly what you checked the week before. Again, at the press of one button, you don't have to type it all in again.
I actually did a cruise quote last year because I've been trialling the system, and I did a cruise and book a net cruise for a client round South America March, and he couldn't. It turned out he couldn't go on it. So,
Right.
but he came back this time, and it was still there. So I had it
So
all.
is that a year later? Or?
Yeah, so he wants it next year, and it's still there.
Brilliant.
So I'd looked obviously at the dates and what he wanted,
Yeah.
and everything was still there.
Oh,
So
fab.
what I did then, I just rehashed it for next year.
Gosh.
You know, and it's all there for you. It's really good, and it just sits there.
Brilliant. Well, thank you so much both for your time today.
Thank
It's
you.
Great.
Thank you very much.
Thanks.